Welcome to Jamaica, the island of real bad man. Some real dog at you, some real gang bang. No run for the herd in that garbage pan.
Welcome to True Island Story. This is the bitter blood story. The Maniac of Kingston 11. Rima. If you're a Jamaican and you hear the word Rima, you know say round the sun and now if you play with. Rima is not no sweetie shop. It more likely tends to leave a bitter taste in your mouth. But don't be fooled, ever get to have decent people that live there, trust me, because I'm a product of the ghetto myself. But not all coffee are sweetened. Some are as black and bitter as, well, as bitter blood. Bitter blood originated from Rima. And just to give you a backstory to feed your ravenous appetite as you cool your coffee or your hot chocolate latte, or if you prefer tea, bush tea, mint, ginger. He originated in Rima but left for Tivoli Gardens as a teenager, where he grew up under Jim Brown's tutelage with Jatty and Nonopus and Curry Cat, Blood Dem and so forth. But Bitter was unruly, like Curry Cat. I don't know who, but some men cut out him belly and dash him over Maypen Cemetery one night and left him for dead. They thought he was dead. He was good as dead. When, luckily for him, the undertaker of the graveyard heard a corpse groaning. The undertaker went to investigate and found Bitter with his lower intestines protruding from his stomach like a gutted cattle. He was going to take him to the KPH, but Bitter insisted he be taken over to Rima, because if him go public, he was a dead man. So Bitter got his wishes, but the caretaker didn't know what he was doing. And sometimes they say it's just best to leave well alone. He wasn't expelled out of Tivoli Gardens for no reason. They knew he was trouble. They knew he was the devil's pawn. But that caretaker was just being a humanitarian, or so he thought. He brought Bitter back to life. A slum, a fecal matter that would pillage and plunder and murder from Grandspen to Rima, Waterford, Waterhouse, Towel, Cockburn Pen, Binns Road, Pienland, all of Kingston 11. No mercy. Bitter blood got his name from the original blood from Nanga Garden, whom he looked up to as a kid growing up. Them time there, you have bad, juicy badness, them man. But there's another story when you toss up on juicy badness when him drop out and shot in 9 billion. But leave this so. Bitter blood end up getting unruly a Rima and take on someone one Friday evening. Right pan top high building top right at 7th Avenue there so. Upon top high building top, Bitter blood there and knock it pan them a come cross with a 6 pants. Come. Clum. Dun dun dun. Every back, yo, brown building, echo and chamber. Them have a back the F up. Bitter blood ended up have a cut go Grandspen go seek refuge. Cause in case they are Rima now. Cause him flex pan them and them are Rima. So him turn refugee down there. They are Grandspen till all of a sudden him Quicksilver cheap. Alone badness pan the man them up there. Him and some man kick off on pan the gully banks. And him a clot a 6 pants pan them and I make them know say pussy. Oh no I'm a come from pussy. Kakum. In a gully bank before the morning. Him and them round there. It ended up thus. Bitter blood now. If you run left Grandspen car, you know say the man they up there and Andrew Pang them, Nena tolerate them unruly believer in them place. So, Bitter Blood end up running now and go down a swamp park, run a Bay Farm villa where he had a girlfriend. So, Bitter Blood run there, good a behave, because him see him get hot anywhere him go in head chip. So, him just tuck in, behave himself and a whole lot. So, till one day, him go in a compound, go buy 2 ounces like Coco Loco. And they knowingly or unknowingly gave him 1 good one and 1 bad one. Now Bitter, remember he had Quicksilver. Bitter, thinking it was just an honest mistake, took it back to them to inform them of their error and to have it exchanged, mutually. But he was met with disdain from his retailer, and to his disbelief, they held their ardent and decided they weren't swapping out the bad Coco Loco. Hindsight is always 20/20, and you will hear we say that quotation a lot on this channel. Bitter didn't argue. He took his post more from a gate and got suck your mother for me figure total the last year. He held his head down, took his cuss out and walked like a skull dog, like a mangy mongrel. Went away. But then he came back with 2 M16 and wave like the Jamaican flag for Independence Day in a year. Him jam everything in a little rata castle. And gunboat over gunboat. And kick down over kick down. Box down over box down. And tap in a over face over tap in a over face. But him never draw no blood that day. War go done. Him take away everything in our house. But the word spread quickly. Bitter Blood was in town. So is either you sit down or get laid down. Bitter Blood turn on the heat in a Kingston 11. Him turn up his scheme. At 4 p.m, ball game stop play, man. Everything shut down. You hear mothers a call them son, Michael, come in here. Where's your brother Jimmy? You come in here for Bitter Blood, come kill you now. Hear me I tell you now? Yes ma, walk come. One day, Bitter Blood goes on, whack, and slap a 2 round a cockburn pen. He will a youth near Ronnie do, and tie him up and put him in a car trunk and tell him, say, yo, fussy, look more me I come take off your head, So you just go and build another car trunk here. And make yourself comfortable. Tell me come back. Make yourself comfortable. It's a little girl here, Ronnie Doop, a ball and a shuffle in there and free him. Ronnie Doop lived to fight another day. It was said one time the guard man them come cross. And Bitter Blood and couple more man them meet them right out of Olympic way and Bay Farm Road intersection. There, so I remember me I tell you, Lord God shot. Bitter Blood beat it till it doesn't bend. The whole place start. Come. Guard man and knock it back. Dung. Police car come and then have to wheel up back and turn back a beer rifle. Dung. Yeah, must have a chalk where. Remember me tell you, whole heap of badness. And next time again, Bitter liquid with Castell them and Anatown and Curry Cat them. When Father Jim goes up and lead the 40-man march, go up and Anatown for go for Castell. A rifle shot for rifle shot. A whole heap of badness the evening. Tap flick against tap flick. Scroom. Anatown over. The resident them have to chuck under the bed. Every sharp shutter draw down. Every building of a recon chuck up there. Come. Come. Card man them a get beer resistance. Some Castell them and Bitter them and the man them. Till the boss Jim just get mad and whisper in one of him second year. I say when the man them see that, them know say what that get sent for. 2 flickers goes and shove it out pan a cat. And the man them goes and knock one out tight. Kaboom! Trust me, them never need for knock to. The war done instant. Everybody in and around Anatown, I'll go straight back out a 3 mile roundabout, stop right to spar them there and I say, how the blood clot that? Admiral Town Anatown Police Station. Padlock the gate and lie down flat pan them belly in the station. No head nah shove up. The gate lock all who out of the stay out and all who in of it in. No call nah answer. The man them go and turn on the card and shove it back go down a garden. Me and a man say, yo, the way the place quiet, you could have hear the bearings them in the cartwheel a squeak. Squeak. From way down at the bottom of North Street and Panish Down Road from all the way up at the top of Anatown, saw the man them in there. Yo, anyway, from a what that bus, they were pit out right away for the youth being the backbone scaly. Right, they say it done. Bitter blood now end up in a war with Richie them in a Kingston 11 area. Now, Richie brother named Oral, who was also a top flick. Oral did in a big war with Bunny Wizzy. Me know if I want to hear Bunny Wizzy, the man them from round that side of the all this name is perk up, but me don't even go into that story there today. Yeah, sometime coffee, sometime tea, and tea there coffee. Bill. Bitter blood not take no talk from no Dan. No way. So it is alleged that even bitter blood goes so and slap way a GLP stronghold Dan front while in clad shoe and come back on the corner next day a ball lonely eye water say and him God knows that. Me say the boss will them pussy them kill Claudine. Me boss will them put yo someone got yo boy go free John. That time Claudia shoe blood they pan bitter blood shoes but I mean not cake up, you know. Bitter blood never do a worse thing. Once she go over Waterhouse, it was said, I'm a Richie them buck up. Richie run down bitter blood breathless with a 6 pants and shell out the momentum with the A1 Jonathan. Kim. Bitter beat him 14 till him run out of shot. Pack him. Bitter run out of shot. I run out of life cause of that. After Bitter get the whole heap of shot them out of John, him still a butter, still have strength. Adrenaline a carry him. And him goes up and scale a ackee tree and go up in the top. And end up kicky bucket in the ackee tree. When police come and people point him out and say, officer, up in the ackee tree in there. The police them say, no man pan the patrol and wreck a bank. No man not take no check. Them man them light up a pole like ackee tree, the dead man in there. Doom. A beer and ackee leaf they are dirt when the man them done. The entire community rejoiced in the news of the bitter-blooded reptile's demise. He was one less ingredient in the stew of violence in their impoverished geographic. We have come to the end of the bitter blood story, the Maniac of Kingston 11. Join us next time as we bring you more stories on the True Island stories, and do look out when we reach 20k subscribers for Damien the Diabolical. When he was 14 years old, he was charged for 14 murders and several more. You do not want to miss it. And disclaimer, we'd like to say, True Island Stories is mainly for entertainment purposes, and certain information and certain characters we will not disclose. And we only speak on people life story who have passed away or doing long stretch in prison, and most of their life stories are public knowledge. So take care until next time on True Island Stories.
I am Joy.
Pepper, you know the real G thing, huh? How we go? Sometime the road tough, side slow. Real patriots never buckle, never fall. How they get to run? That's why. Back from the boy, we not do that. Boy, who no can't kill with Jai, who no boy. Who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yeah, and a man bust a shot him off a pack up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend and for door. None of that, no assumption. I saw the ground run, yeah. Power, married to corruption. Criminal, bred from limited options. 10 generation, I see the said someone wanted man will live long. Name one. Things forever bury with no done. Name one. And good honest politician. Name one. And get a youth resilient. Back from the boy who no do that. Who no can't kill with Jai. Who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, now a man better boy. And a man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, you a man better. Things risky, for the misfit. Death rate fit the logistic. Chris, I want the biscuit. Be a tough crackers with the whiskey. You're not listening. Crime live here, so it's not visiting. Visitors, careful, they know what the business is. Murder, plunder, pillaging, bloodshed in all the villages. You name it, you will live in it. Get rich, I do a special delivery. Nightmare, tormented images. Vengeance, bloody cycle continuing, but know you seek that, but it's no revenge. Looking at the mirror, there is no different. Man, we're full of, hey, how we know we trends back from the boy, who not do that. Who no can't tell me Jai, who no boy. Who from your soul don't know around boy. Yeah, now a man better. Any man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend for door. None of that, now a man better. No assumption, I saw the ground run. Power, married to corruption. Criminal, red from limited options. 10 generation, passing the said someone wanted man will live long. Name one, brings a fella with no name one. One honest politician, name one who. And get a youth resilient. Walk from the boy who not do that. Can't kill with Jai on the back. Who from your soul don't know a wrong boy. Yo, a man better boy. Any man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend and do it. None of that, none of that. Yo, you know the thing going on, suck a seat up a big thing. Hey man, take your time man. Boy, man. To them people.